How do they do it? Why do they do it? Riding and crashing and riding and winning and always faster and faster and faster.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to With Anto MotoGP. Today we're going to do a quick review of the fourth round, which was run on the weekend under the lights in Qatar, Lusail International Circuit. And no real surprise, certainly some surprises in the race, but no real surprise when you look at the final order, which is Ducati 1, 2, 3. Marc Marquez masterclass in tyre conservation. To not necessarily ride out the front, and we'll get into a little bit more details, but to end 4.5 seconds in front of what was then Bagnaia in second. And it was a great ride, particularly by that. And then, really Morbidelli got into the third place. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about tyres. Now, in the preview show, and thanks to everybody who watched the preview, I talked about tyres. And I noted on the Dorna World feed, I was watching the coverage, Michelin Tyres issued a statement, and they stated, and I quote, "Tyre consumption won't be an issue in this race." Well, for me, the entire race was about tyres. Everything was to do with tyres, concluding a great ride by Maverick Vinales. As you know, I've had quite a bit to say about him, but really great ride to go second across the line. Unfortunately, he failed to meet the minimum 60% of race laps, keeping the actual minimum tyre pressure. So he got penalised 16 seconds, and that took him from over the line second and standing on the podium and celebrating to actually being relegated down to 14th. So yes, tyres, and tyres. Just a little bit, a couple of points, and then we're going to talk about the teams. As you know, with Antone MotoGP 2025, we like to look a little bit more about the teams and not just at the race results. And this GP was the first motorcycle Grand Prix that featured 5 world champions on the grid starting, which is an amazing feat. And I think it's something that we can really think of. And talking about amazing feats, it's 50 years since Yamaha won their first 2-stroke world championship. And to see Quartararo qualify the Yamaha on the front row, I think was a really good sign that perhaps those winning ways are not too far away. Of course, he couldn't maintain that position. He got swamped by, all sorts of fast Ducatis. Yeah, top 10. He ran in the top 10. He finished up in 7th position, which I think, again, is a fantastic effort on the Yamaha. Speaking of Yamahas, I want to talk a little bit about team management. And look, we have to talk about Aprilia. We have to talk about another Aprilia management fail. Now, we've been talking about this since the pre-season, about what is Aprilia doing, what are they not doing, how are they managing their riders. Okay, so Jorge Martin, he's back on the bike, fantastic. He's cleared to ride, which is great. But what did we see? We saw a successful Friday. He ran the 2 practice sessions. Successful Saturday. He completed the sprint race. Okay. So that would obviously be quite a physical demand on anybody carrying those fractures. He's got, as you know, the scaphoid and the ankle injuries and other cracks in his hands as well that we're really not finding the full truth of. So he had a good warm-up Sunday afternoon, and then he's riding the race. He wants to race. Well, this was the mistake. What good can come of riding around at the back of the field, 18th, 19th position? Not only is he taxing himself, he was basically running out of energy. The pain of those continued injuries on him. So what happened? He crashed out of the race. And guess what's happened? That's right, more injuries. He's now got 6 fractured ribs, 1 to 6 on the right-hand side. He's got issues. He's currently in hospital, CT scans. He's got issues with his lung. And he's beaten up. And he's beaten up because Aprilia management did not make the correct decision. After Jorge had run successfully on Friday and Saturday, okay, wake up in the morning, Sunday morning, let's see how you're feeling. Of course he wants to ride. Every rider wants to race. And this is what we saw. We've seen this after his first crash in Sepang. He wanted to race, they let him race. He's come to the circuit, he had a good 2 days, and he's pushed it to try to finish the MotoGP, which was, I think 22 laps of the Losail International Circuit. He did 11 in the sprint, and they didn't stop him. So for me, it's a fail. They should have prevented him from starting the race, or had a strategy, do the sprint distance and come in. Whatever the strategy is, but to try to get him to complete a full race weekend, which is what they asked of him, a full race weekend, both sessions on Friday, on Saturday, do the sprint race, run the warm-up, and then do a 22-lap race, is crazy. So I think it's another fail for Aprilia. If I was to add this up, I think now this is 4 fails for Aprilia management, and the result is you've got young Jorge Martin, the 2024 world champion, the biggest asset that Aprilia could ever get with the number 1 on the front of their bike, and he's battered and bruised and broken. And I also start to think mentally it's going to have start to really affect him and how he feels about getting on that Aprilia. Okay, so let's have a look at the rest of the race. Like I mentioned at the start, stomach viruses were affecting a lot of people. I actually heard that Jack Miller lost 3 kilos of body weight. I don't know. Mia on the Honda couldn't even run on the Saturday. How did the Hondas go though in the race? I think, apart from KTM in the hands of Maverick Vinales, aka Batman, the Nightman, Zarco on the Honda upgraded to 4th position, and Marini crossing the line in 10th for Honda. So I think these are good results for Honda. 2 in the top 10. Very excited to see Aldeguer running and finishing in 5th. But I want to talk a little bit about the start of the race. Alex and Marc Marquez came together. A little bit of bodywork flying. And then Antonio and Alex Marquez came together. Now this was clearly Alex Marquez's fault. He got the ride-through penalty. So really that meant that he had to come from mid-pack. And he did really well to finish finally in 6th after Vinales got dropped down. So a good MotoGP race in the desert. I don't think the crowd was particularly large. That's probably not great for Dorna. I do hear that the Liberty Media takeover is all but approved. So that's pretty exciting. And we're about to get the MotoGP 2025 season really officially underway as we head back to Europe. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about Aprilia? Do you think it's a failure? Do you think they should have done more? And what about this Michelin tyre situation? I mean, obviously the race was all about tyres. Why can't we have a front tyre that a rider can lead a race and not get into tyre pressure problems? They will complain and say, well, they haven't done the testing, but really it's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for Michelin. And, it's Marc Marquez having the smarts not to run at the front that really made the difference. So thank you for watching this week. I hope you enjoyed the race, and if you found this episode interesting, then please give it a like or subscribe to my channel, because we're going to be covering the whole season. And then of course, if you do want to drop a comment below, then certainly I'd really appreciate it. We'll look forward to talking again soon. Okay, bye for now.